Well, finding fresh fruits and vegetables in January is definitely a challenge, but perhaps you're not looking in the right place. Professional chef and host of the Food Network's Heartland Table, Amy Thielen, is joining me now with some great tips to find great tasting U.S. family farm grown tomatoes in the middle of winter. And Amy, you are saying they are not in your produce aisle, so thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Robin. Good to be here.
So not in your produce aisle, huh? Where are we finding these?
Yeah, don't look in the produce section. I'm going to send you right down the grocery store aisle, the middle store aisles. Outside of summer, I don't really buy and cook with fresh tomatoes. I use canned tomatoes. And grocery store shopping is my life. I feel like I live there some days. I've tried them all. And these are actually really my favorite. So these red gold tomatoes, they are picked at peak ripeness. They're grown under the sun, so they're not in a greenhouse, and they're canned immediately. So I know that they're going to have great flavor, and they're super tender, and they're really bright red. And the color is really your key. When you're looking for nutrition, you want the deepest red you can find, because the redder the tomato, the more of that antioxidant lycopene that it has.
Now, I hear these tomatoes are grown in a state we're familiar with, huh? Ohio, we are talking about?
Yes. Yes, these are Midwestern tomatoes. They're grown in Ohio, Michigan, and Indiana. It's the southern Midwest, that belt. It's really hot, and people outside of the Midwest may not know that. But, that hot Midwestern sun can ripen a tomato. That's for sure.
All right, Amy, let's talk about how to pack more nutrition in our family meals this winter with these great tomatoes.
Yes. So when I'm looking for a canned tomato, some people say, oh, canned tomatoes, they're all the same. But they're not. They vary a lot in quality. So what I do is I take my whole can, and I like to buy the whole peeled tomatoes from a lot of recipes, and I pour them into a bowl, or in this case, a colander, and I give them what I call a quick crush test. And I just squeeze one, and I can tell immediately if it squeezes to a pulp that this was a tomato picked at peak ripeness, and it's going to be really, really sweet. So I don't have to cook this sauce a ton to regain that sweetness. It's already there. These are grown on family farms, and they're non-GMO, and the can is BPA free.
All right. What did you make today then?
Yeah, I have a couple of recipes that are good for high-quality canned tomatoes. One is a tomato mozzarella pie with a rich custard and then just a lightly seasoned tomato top. And then this is a kind of a variation. This is a thin-crusted, pub-style, Midwestern kind of pizza with a cracker crust and fresh tomato marinara. Do you like your pizza crackery and crumbly?
Hey, I like my pizza
Crisp
any way
thin?
I can get it, especially if someone else is cooking it for me.
Right. So I like to use my own cracker crust dough, which doesn't even have yeast. It's so easy to come together. It's very, very simple to make. But you can use any pizza dough that you like or have on hand. And what you want to do is you just want to brush it thickly with olive oil, and then you lay down a thin blanket of fresh mozzarella. And I like to use the fresh mozzarella for this. And then I just tear the tomatoes, and I lay them right on top, shower this thing with Parmesan cheese, salt and pepper, and pop it into a 500-degree oven for 10 minutes. And it's going to come out just blistering, right? And so fresh. It's going to taste like fresh tomato in the dead of winter.
All right, Amy, looks good. So where can we send our viewers to get some more recipes?
So you can find some of my recipes for my crust in the new Midwestern Table, my cookbook. And you can find all these recipes and more on redgoldtomatoes.com. And you can find the tomatoes themselves at Kroger.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Amy.
Yeah, thanks so much, Robin.